One thing Rails gets a bad rap for, whenever projects get bigger or older, people complain about how the projects become disorganized, a tangled mess of code. I've lived in projects like that myself. And I think a big part of that is a failure for people to realize, I'm guilty of this, that as an application gets bigger, it becomes more than what a web MVC framework was designed to handle. And again, think about it. What is Rails? It's a web framework. It takes a request, runs it through a controller, pulls data from a database, and then renders some kind of HTML and JSON response. That's it. And so why in big applications do we try cramming business logic inside of that framework? So one way to keep things organized is to just break outside of that. You don't need to jam everything into a model or everything into a controller. I think this is even true for the fat model, thin controller kind of tagline that's been thrown out there. It's a good place to start, but at the end of the day, if you end up with a bunch of fat models, you're going to end up with a tangled mess of code there. And I think the real answer is models and Rails are really just ways to get data into the database and validate it and do some lightweight things on it. So think about moving your business logic out of those, we'll call them data models, and into just Ruby classes that can handle some business logic. Maybe you have a model that has a bunch of transactions in it. That could be a good thing to move out into its own Ruby class, because odds are that transaction is actually operating on multiple active record models. And I think it's another thing that gets confused. We have Ruby classes and active record models, and there's not really a great pattern for, I just want to create a boring Ruby object that accepts the active record models, and I can do things to it, maybe a transaction, and have it all in one place where it's easy to test and understand. You can throw all this stuff in your app directory. Usually when I create a project, I end up with app content, which has all the support content, marketing content for my websites, and that's managed with SitePress. And whenever I end up with kind of gnarly business logic, I'll create a new folder in the app directory and put all that stuff in there. So something to think about. Just do not fear creating new folders in app to organize whatever it is that you want to organize with your Rails projects.